Hey guys, so I just wanted to update you guys a bit about my travels and so onwards. Yeah, I haven't actually really made a video about my travels and the stuff that I did in Hong Kong and the people that I encountered in Hong Kong, so I thought I'd just quickly do one and just share a few highlights. And yeah, so I think the thing that really got to me in Hong Kong was the fact that people were so starving for love. Everywhere where you go on the side of the streets, there's people who are crying out to God, like they're financially strapped. You get people selling you watches on the side of the street, copy watches, they call them copy bags, anything to basically make a living. It's not easy. And I encountered one man there that I led to the Lord, and his story was quite incredible because he was a Muslim man and he'd come all the way from India to Hong Kong to find a better life for himself. And just to honor him, I don't want to go into too many details, but when he got to Hong Kong, he was left with no food and no money, and he went to the Muslim community there and they basically shut him out and said, sorry, we're not going to help you. And then he ended up at a Christian base that was giving out food, and he got food from them, and he really, really felt like they really cared about him, and he still goes back there and they give him food. He's got a job now. It's not always easy, but he said he wanted to know more about Jesus. Like, there was something inside of him that wanted to find out more about God because of the work that the Christians had been doing in Hong Kong. And he says when he went over to this Christian base, they never once asked him if he was Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist or whatever. They just loved on him, and that made such an incredible difference in his life. And then when I encountered him, he said to me, my dear, how do I do this? How do I denounce being a Muslim, and how do I become a Christian? Do I say a prayer? And I said, I honestly don't think that we need to say a prayer to transform our lives. All that we need to do is just turn our backs on our old lives and tell the world what Jesus has done for us. And that's what he did. And he said, you know what, I'm going to go back to India and I'm going to tell them about Jesus, and I'm going to tell my brothers and my sisters and my in-laws and everyone about Jesus. And he asked me so many different questions about God, and I told him what I thought about different issues, and it was really beautiful to see someone change and transform their hearts. And the whole thing about salvation is, it's a process. It's not just a prayer that you say. It's a process. Our lives is a process, of going towards a loving Father who loves us so much. And it brings me so much joy to see someone taking that extra step towards the Father's heart. And yeah, so that was incredible for me. I also saw I went to Checo Bay, which was really, really hard for me, because I saw a man from China there who had been whipped on the back. You could see the whipping marks. He had no fingers on his hands, and his hands had been chopped off and his eyes had been pretty much gouged out, and he was sitting there with a bucket, basically on the floor, begging for money. And I felt sick to my stomach, and I wish that I have done more, but the whole image just basically brought me to my knees. When you're stuck in a situation where you've never encountered something like that, it really just, it's hard. It's really hard, and I feel like I could have done better in the situation. But the point of this video is that we need to encounter people on a daily basis, and it's not easy. It's not an easy process to go over to someone and say, hey, God told me to pray for you, or just to love on people. And sometimes it's even hard for us to trust that God loves us. And what I would encourage you to do is to go out, if you're a Christian, to go out and love on people. Even if you're not a Christian, it doesn't matter. Just go out and love people, because love transforms the heart, and it makes such a difference to do something for someone else. So yeah, that's just a little bit of an update about my Hong Kong travels. And there's many more things that happened that have really shaped me. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. Have a great week, guys. Bye.